Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's episode of the Erock'S Entertainment Rant podcast, as brought to you by the King for. I can't speak. Tommy,
You got this. You got this, babe.
welcome to King for Fresh Entertainment Group's Erock'S Entertainment Rant podcast. I'm your host, Erock, and today on the show, we're here to talk about the whatever number episode of the challenge we're on. Challenge 49.
Eight.
Thank you.
Eight.
Eight,
Yes.
nine, whatever. I mean,
Nine will be tomorrow, but
Yeah,
yes. Yeah.
Um, joining me today, as always, is my lovely co-host. We have Diego. Diego, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great.
And then we also have a man who, despite me saying I don't like surprises, still surprised me. It's Tommy. Tommy, how you doing?
I've been waiting for this episode for like my entire life.
I'll bet. Tommy, why don't you tell everybody what you did and introduce our surprise guest?
So I don't know exactly where to start. I would say I think he was going through his live moments here and there on his Facebook, Instagram, whatever it may be. And I messaged him and I'm just like, hey, would you care to join our podcast? And lo and behold, Ryan's here.
We have a
The
member
one,
of this.
the only.
The one, the
Hello.
only
The one,
Ryan
the only.
Kehoe.
Yes,
It's
There we
me.
Ryan, welcome.
Thank you for having me. This, well, I have to say, my Wi-Fi worked out because I was doing Susie and Sarah's podcast like 3 hours ago and it kept cutting out. And we just decided to reschedule it all together because it was so choppy. So you are the first beautiful people I'm seeing with like proper Wi-Fi for the
That's
first time
awesome.
in 3 years.
That's
So
amazing.
Dang.
yeah,
The first thing I have to do is I want to commend you for calling out the a-hole that is Johnny Bananas.
oh yeah,
All the times you've done it last episode. Like,
Mhm.
just commending you right away for that. Because he is my go-to punching bag.
you are
For
welcome.
obvious reasons.
Yeah. I don't think he knew he was playing with like this version of me. I think he was used to like passive, don't rustle any feathers, kiss the ring, stay in line, and we'll let you stick around another episode. Yeah, no, I don't play like that anymore. So I was happy to stand my ground and put him in his place.
Yes.
You know, he needs to be checked. He
Yeah.
isn't controlling the game like he's used to. And
Exactly.
Mhm.
We're
he
here
didn't know
for it.
about the Gaycation Alliance, which was me and Derek and all the girls. So
There you go. Are we gonna hear that term coming up in the near future, or is that just
I just
something
made it up
you
like
made up for now?
maybe 3 days ago. No, it's not a thing. I literally just it came out of my mouth and they're like, "Oh my God, that's brilliant." I was like, "That is pretty brilliant." I mean, it was an unspoken alliance. We didn't try to
Yeah.
rally any troops. We were just good
Just
people,
watch it.
you know?
It's probably going to end up turning out being a thing because the Vacation Alliance was a thing for how many years before they actually brought it up on the show.
Right? Yeah. We got to make it a thing. Start putting it all over social media. The
There we
Vacation
go.
Alliance.
Gaycation. All you have to do is be gay and know how to put a wig on. And you're good.
There you go.
I'm out. I never have I ever.
Put a wig on? I have.
Probably not properly. I don't know. As a kid, I was always messing with my grandma.
Oh, okay.
There's
Does
no
a
right
fake
or wrong
beard
way.
count as a wig?
Yeah.
What's that?
Does a fake beard count as a wig?
Oh,
I don't
Put
think
on
so.
like a fake Santa Claus beard before.
No, I think it just says fake beard.
We're gonna give you props no matter what.
There you go.
There we go.
You've got a great mustache, so anything you say is perfect.
Thank you. No one ever says that. No one ever tells me that.
You can be part of the Gaycation Alliance, okay? With
There
a
we go.
mustache like that.
Oh, shucks. Sheesh. Gonna flatter me. So we're here today to talk about the latest episode of the challenge, where we saw a bunch of a Gladiator ad for a movie that I've never seen or heard of until they mentioned it. I know.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
you can imagine our surprise being there 6 months ago when it was not even like on anyone's radar. Like I didn't even know they were doing a sequel.
Hmm.
And his casual mention of Gladiator 2 on an imaginary screen that wasn't there, and us looking at not Denzel Washington, but just an abyss of jungle. Those are like, those are the magic moments where you gotta just play the game.
There you go.
Yeah.
Gotta do a little acting.
Yeah. The intentions were pure.
Yes.
Yes.
we love it. And like I said, so also we have, like I said, we had the Gladiator stuff. We have the demolishing of Era One, except now Era
Yeah.
One has Rachel, which I don't think is gonna end the way they think it's gonna end. 'Cause Rachel's a badass.
Amazing.
Hmm.
Amazing.
I have notes about that too for later.
Hey, we're here for it. We'll dive in then, I guess, with my very first note, which is poor Derek and Rachel being the only two left on their team.
Yeah. Yeah. It was brutal. It was just
Yeah.
like one after the other. I mean, it was depressing enough that like Era One's room was literally an infirmary, and like only for the guys. There was
Yeah.
like maybe like a few episodes back where Rachel and I were just like walking and talking, and we walked in, it was like Darrell, Derek, CT, so when CT was still there. And we like were like just looked at each other, and I was like, I mean, I'm 43, but like I'm good. And she's like, I know, I'm 41 and I'm in the best shape of my life. What is wrong with these boys? They were just dropping like flies.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it was
they
only
just
the guys
Yeah.
that had issues, right?
Hmm. At least
yeah.
shown on TV, at least. But
Yes. No, Tina was golden. I mean, Katie, Anissa, like yeah, Jody, everyone was all the girls were Gucci. I don't know. It's just they, as a team, collectively just couldn't get it together. And I also think there was like an expectation of like, oh, geez, Arrow One, we've been playing this game so long. So it was even sadder that it went the way it did because I think all the fans of the show really wanted to see, them do what they've been doing for 20 plus years. So yeah,
Yeah, they
it was
created it, and I think I even mentioned in the last episode that the show has changed so much from what they were brought into that it was just they're not used to it, I feel like. And I mean, sure, CT, Darrell, and Anissa have the most experience out of everyone else that was on Air One. And I just I want to say they had the best chance to, but clearly Rachel's outpowering them.
Yeah, well, Rachel was definitely calling the shots from day one as far as like team dynamic and who was going in. Like she's a natural born leader, and people
Mm.
do follow her because no one really stepped up into that leadership role. Um, and she would make an excellent politician, that one, I tell you.
Yeah, for sure. And then I got here, get it, Derek, because Derek is excited that he's the last man and says he'll fight anybody, and we're here for it. I mean, honestly, this
Yeah.
guy's I have a newfound respect for him after this episode. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, he's always been that way, though. I mean, if you were to look at a montage of every elimination he's ever had, it 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 is an impressive career. Because honestly, like people like me, we do the challenge. It's a cool side hustle. It's a great opportunity, but like he has literally made the challenge his career. I mean, and his podcast and everything that followed suit. Um, yeah, Derek was a beast. And quite honestly, it was a lot closer in person. The elimination with Corey, there was some speculation that Derek might have actually beat him in time, but because he was so severely injured and he literally would have competed until his other leg went out, he literally would have been a truly in a wheelchair if he could and keep going. But I think production was like, you are beat up, buddy. You need to go home, get some x-rays. And he wound up getting like a severe surgery like right before his baby was born. So he definitely went to war on 40.
Yeah, I actually listened to the Challenge Mania podcast, and he said that even had he'd won, the next day he was probably gonna go to the hospital and get an MRI, get everything figured out, and probably was gonna end up going home anyway. He said he was pretty done with that, with his knee. His knee was kept on slipping out of socket or something crazy like that.
Rough. Yeah, it was really rough. I
Yeah.
um I actually slept in Era One's room for like, I mean, they show me moving, but like really I was just moving my suitcase. I was sleeping in there since Jody got eliminated, just because like the AC was on point and it was quieter and everyone went to bed early. So I was sleeping there already, but I surprised Derek. He was like seeing the doctor and I moved him and Mark's bed together, which there was all this like janky wiring from the electrician, the way they set the house up. So I like unplugged all this wiring and I made him like a king size bed so that when he came back, he had like a throne, which was shorter lived than he would have liked. But I tried to spoil him as much as I could. Saved him many trips to the freezer for ice packs too.
Look at you.
I'm a good gay. Gaycation Alliance. And
There we go. And then we have one of the first recorded shut ups in history going to Casey because
Oh, God.
she's opening her mouth about Jenny and saying that Jenny something and again, I want to be clear, people. I watched this show, the episode an hour ago, and I forget sometimes why I write notes. I'm not a perfect human, but she was being annoying. And honestly, maybe it was just because it was weird seeing a confessional from Casey.
well, yeah, it was our first one of the season.
Was it actually?
No, I'm being a
I was
dick.
about to ask. How do you feel about Casey?
I really like her. She's very cool. She would be a lot of fun off the show to like, her drink, me get a soda and just hang out. Like she's cool. And the few times that she hung out at the pool, because that's where I was with Derek and Jenny every day that we weren't competing, because it was far enough away from the house. So like good for your mental health. Also, if I'm gonna be hot like this, I might as well get tan while I'm here. So Casey made like a couple appearances, and then when we had like group barbecue dynamic, like she would come out, but she was, she played pool with Kyland a lot. So I'm sure there was a lot of conversations that happened that I wasn't privy to, but I think it was funny that she had an opinion about Jenny not making connections in social game because yeah, I mean, Jenny only interacted with the people that were at the pool, but Jenny wasn't like playing the game. She was just like, all right, in my downtime, I'm going to do what I want to do, which is drink Diet Coke, eat snacks, get tan with the gays, and just like chill. So I'm sure Casey saw that soundbite after seeing the edit thus far and was kind of like, oh no, like I don't really have a leg to stand on as far
And
as
I was
making
gonna say,
connections.
I was gonna say too, it was like it's just weird because what was it? People have been saying, oh, yeah, freaking Jenny won the season that Casey's first season was on, Total Madness. I thought of something else too. I just lost it
Yeah,
though.
no, she said she referred to Jenny as a rookie, which if you're
Yeah.
looking at like how the show considers a rookie was like under 3 shows or something. But it's
Mhm.
just weird for her to call her a rookie when they were on the same season and Jenny won that season. And honestly, Jenny made more money in that season than some of us that have done like 8 to 10 shows. So she's laughing all the way to the bank, that rookie,
Right.
Right?
you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I found my point. It was like even if Jenny were to make connections and anything on Air 4, she would still be on the bottom of the totem pole for them too.
100%.
So regardless of whether she was making connections or not, it wouldn't have benefited her either way.
Yeah. Agreed.
Mhm.
I think Casey had such a strong alliance coming in that she was just sitting pretty, and she didn't really have to do much work with Tori and Devin and Josh. Like that was just already, a fixed thing. So I don't know. But sometimes too with the editing, they can take a soundbite from an interview that has something to do with something else. And, the rookie comment could have been about someone else. Yeah, it didn't look great for Casey. But to answer your
Yeah.
question, I am a fan of her as a human being. I just don't think she gave much excitement for the viewers this season. And
I
maybe
think
she
that's
was
kind of,
too comfortable, maybe.
I was gonna say, I think that's kind of the general consensus as far as fans are concerned. I mean, a lot of she gets called furniture a lot of the time, mainly because she's just there. But I guess, I mean, and I've heard, from other, interviews and stuff that she's a very likable person. Like, so
Yes.
the cast themselves like her a lot. The fans not so much because she didn't bring a whole lot to the show. And I think I mentioned before that pretty much her only real storyline is that she's with Nani. I mean,
Yes. It's a beautiful relationship.
oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm happy for them and all. But as far as the show is concerned, I mean, that can only take you so far as far as the
Yeah.
storyline is concerned.
She's not an open book like the rest of us, Like, and to be honest, she's not camera hungry at all.
Hmm.
A lot of the Big Brother kids love the fucking camera. And, even if they're not part of the conversation, they'll wedge themselves in just to be in the shot. Like, it's very different from the era in which I came in.
Hmm.
Are you hearing the ding? Is that like interrupting? Like my text messages are coming through my computer. No, you're
No,
not hearing.
we're
I
not.
haven't heard a ding, and
Okay.
I haven't heard a ding.
No ding.
And then we get some more of Corey whining and bitching about Devin not being a target and not taking his turn. And I got Corey's annoying because it's like, at what point do you think, like, okay, like Michelle's never gonna pick him? Like, don't be weird about it, please, Corey. Like, and I did a whole skit last
Well,
week too about
it
it.
did fuck up the order in which they agreed as a team from day one that they would go in. And you saw what happened to John A when she tried to back out of her. She wound up getting picked by her closest guy in the house anyway.
Hmm.
That move that John A made, that made all eyes on her era. Like when push comes to shove, we agreed on an order, and now you're going against what we all collectively agreed on, and that made her public enemy number one on era 3. So to be honest with you, I love Devin. He is my friend, but like Corey had a right to be pissed at Devin because even though that's your girlfriend, in the end of the day, you can volunteer yourself and override that. I know Michelle wasn't going to make that move, but yeah, it just kind of the credibility of like everyone being their word, just like created. But to be honest, I was like, I'm glad it's not era 2 for once. You guys have your fucking drama. That's great. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, spread the drama around.
yeah.
Yeah.
I,
Yes,
I,
we
I
need.
personally do love Corey, and I do also do love Devin, but I think in that moment for me, I can understand why Corey was salty.
Hmm. And carry that salt through the whole episode.
Yeah.
Literally the
Yep.
whole episode.
Yeah.
And then we
So
get
you're not a Corey fan.
I am. I want to be
Okay.
very clear. I am a Corey fan. I was rooting for him in USA 2, which
Okay.
was the very first podcast of the challenge the three of us ever did. Me, Diego, and Tommy ever did was Challenge USA 2. I was rooting for him the whole way.
Yeah.
So
To
I
brush
am
up
a
on
Corey
some
fan. Go
to
ahead,
brush up
Tommy.
on some history, Eric is the newest member of the challenge. He started watching in USA 1. There we go.
I had to show you some tits for that. Yep.
Oh.
um, I've been following the challenge since Inferno 2, and Diego's been, I think, a little bit before me.
I initially watched the first like 5 seasons of it, and then when I went to college, I didn't have cable, so there's a big block of like no TV that I didn't really watch a whole lot. And then when me and my wife, well at the time not girlfriend, we got together, she was a huge fan of the challenge, so she brought me in. So like I kind of came back to it around, I think it was Dirty 30 was the next season. I really watched it, watched everything since then, and then since Paramount Plus came out, I was able to go back and watch some of the older seasons that some actually I had actually seen already, but some of them I hadn't. So I did kind of jumped around with my challenge uh watching.
Diego, what's your favorite era? You can't cheat on an era with another. Like, meaning, which 10 seasons were your favorite as a viewer?
As a viewer.
Yeah, you can
Uh,
like different people in different eras, but like, what do you think was the peak, the boner of the challenge?
I probably have to go with Era 2. Mainly because two of my favorite seasons are on there. The fresh meats are in there. Two of my favorite seasons.
Awesome.
Uh, and then I mean, there's just a lot of good stuff in that era. I'm not kissing your ass either. I really do believe that is one of the
Flattery,
best eras
no, that's
as
really,
far as
thank you. I'm
seasons are
glad.
concerned. They're there.
Because when Fresh Meat, the idea and the show came out, we were like the redheaded stepchild of the challenge. Like, how dare these super fans like tread on our territory, you know?
Mhm.
And well, we didn't know how it was going to be received. Now it's like, you can literally do any reality show and get thrown in there. But at that time, it was like, you know, no, we weren't loved initially.
Yeah. Well, you guys were like the road rules and railroad rejects, basically.
I was actually cast on Road Rules, but
Oh, you
Road
were?
Rules yeah, I was supposed to leave to compete on Road Rules, and it got canceled because the ratings sucked
Yeah.
for the season that was currently airing. So they were like, "Do you want to continue auditioning for the real world?" And I was like, "Not really. I want to do Road Rules." And they're like, "Or there's this new challenge we're talking about." And so they just threw me on Fresh Meat.
Very
So,
cool. I don't think
yeah.
I've ever
That is
heard that before.
juicy.
Yeah.
But I was cast. I was in the finals for Road Rules, and 2 weeks before we were supposed to leave, I get a phone call from the producer. Road Rules has been canceled. The ratings are horrible. And I was like,
That is crazy.
no.
That's
It was,
wild.
yeah. But I didn't
Uh,
need to go on the real world at that point. I was 24. I came out in high school. I didn't have like a coming out news story. And I also didn't want to be stuck in a house with like an 18-year-old girl that couldn't handle her liquor, that was crying all the time. I'm good.
oh, yeah.
That was my theater show. That was my shit. Like when I started watching Philadelphia, Real with Philadelphia at first. Like I was just rearranging my room as a kid, and I turned the TV on to the Real World Philadelphia, and I was just like, oh shit, this is cool. And then it landed in
That was a good
Karamo,
season.
Shavonda, and
Yeah.
they all went on to Inferno 2, and that's what sparked this whole interest for me.
You'll always remember your first.
Oh hell yeah. I used to be able to go through each season and name who was on which season and who was a replacement and everything. I was people in high school hated me.
No one could hate you. Well, I was a super fan of the show as well. I was a big Road Rules fan, and
Mhm.
I couldn't believe that I was on the show because I was like, I've been watching this since I was in high school. So it was
Yeah.
pretty surreal to be like a cast member. And now I'm like old, middle-aged, still doing the shit.
And real
There.
quick, I remember so you were on Fresh Meat one, obviously, and then I think the next show you were on was Gauntlet 3, I believe.
Correct.
So that was when MySpace was hot, and I remember messaging you on there, and I was like, dude, you I don't know what it was, but like I was just like, I didn't realize this is gonna sound so stupid. I messaged you and I was like, I didn't realize how attractive you were, and you were like, was I not attractive in Fresh Meat one or something? I'm just, no, you were. I just didn't realize it.
I'll take it, Tommy. I'll take it.
Woo. So anyway,
Yeah. So back to the episode. We have.
Yes,
Now we're going back to the episode.
Tommy, you can subscribe to my new OnlyFans. I'll send you the link later.
Who says I'm already not subscribed?
Mm.
Okay.
We're getting a little spicy in here.
That'll be for the After Hours podcast. We'll be doing that when it turns midnight. Yep. Mhm.
Oh my gosh, it's getting hot in here. Anyway, back to the episode.
Yeah, then we get Ryan being hilarious because he's moving out of the Era 1 or Era 2 bedroom, and it's like, I don't want to deal with Laurel's cackling and Johnny's annoying behavior, which later leads into my shut up Bananas, because then Bananas starts going off about how he has a podcast, thinking that that's something special. We all have podcasts.
That was a really good job on the editors.
I was gonna say
I couldn't have planned that, obviously, but the soundbite that they used, and then the montage of like him talking over himself and then like duplicating himself, that was pretty funny. I gotta give it to the
one thing they've done so great in this season is that editing. Well, somebody would say something and they cut to exactly what they were talking about. Like you said, that Bananas can't stop talking about stuff. Cut to that montage, and then you talked about how
Laurel cackled like a witch, and then they like echoed her voice. I was like,
yeah,
production was looking out for me.
They've been on point with their editing when it comes to things like that. On point.
Yeah. And then I also got here, shut up, Laurel, because Laurel's then babbling about her relationship with actually you, Ryan.
Lies.
And lies. Okay.
Lies.
We got that out there.
Of course. I mean, even like I've gotten so many DMs of like, I don't even know why you and Laurel fell out, but I know she's lying because that is the dumbest excuse for a falling out of a friendship. You guys stopped talking because Nicole was calling you too much about the breakup. It's like, that doesn't even make sense. It was such a stretch. Such a stretch. It was such a weird explanation. And I really wonder why she's like not telling the truth. It's not an embarrassing. Well, I guess it is kind of embarrassing not embarrassing. It's just like, I don't know. She's just full of shit, I tell you. Like backpedaling, doubling down on everything. And I really hope she gets help. It is a lot of layers, but there's some deep-rooted stuff in there that she's not even willing to like get real with herself or her mental health. And I think the more she does these, like the more the possibility of who she is at her core, like that chance is just getting smaller and smaller. So I honestly do wish her well, because there are good qualities about her. I was friends with her for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But there was like red flags left and right. I was just dodging them and kind of like, ignorance is bliss. It's not directed at me. So better to be on her good side. But yeah, once she like brought up the tax thing, I was like, okay, bitch, let's go. I'm not the one, but you think I am. You can probably beat me in a hall brawl, but I can definitely beat you with facts and words. So yeah. Is anyone here a Laurel fan?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Was
anyone here ever
good competitor, but that's as far as it goes.
Yeah.
In my short tenure of watching the challenge, I've only seen like 3 Laurel seasons.
Yeah.
I think. I don't want to triple my own words on this. Like, it was the first season I watched her was Ride or Dies. That was my first introduction to Laurel.
Yes.
Then my then I went into Challenge All Stars 4.
Yes.
With her random appearance in 39 mixed in there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then this season. So I only really have those 3 seasons to go off of, which
is
not I don't think is a lot like enough to make you a Laurel fan. Oh, that's not true. I watched the first 2 episodes of Fresh Meat too.
Okay. But I mean, I got along with her on Fresh Meat too. I mean, we were in our 20s. I'm 43 now, so I was 28 when I met her. So, I definitely made out with her too, which is weird. I recently rewatched Fresh Meat 2 during COVID, and I was like, I made out with Laurel. I don't remember that. But this is before things
Oh
went
God.
like south. But you know, Kenny was my boy, and we were in like an alliance together. So by default, Laurel was part of that alliance. And I did think like she was kind of a weirdo when she drank too much, but I didn't think that she was anything like she is now. You know, she was very bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and like, you know, just doing whatever Kenny said. I mean, most rookies do that their first season. You just listen to your partner. But I didn't foresee her going from being what was portrayed on Fresh Meat to as like bullied by others to then becoming top dog and bully herself. Like there's been no redemption for her. I don't even know if she wants that though,
Yeah.
you know.
I also just don't like that she goes after Michelle because I'm a big Survivor fan and Michelle's my girl.
Michelle, let me see if I can get her. Let's do a second surprise. She might not answer.
I would die.
No.
I'm gonna die if he gets her. I'm gonna die. I just want to point that out, guys.
R.I.P. Eric.
Like
She's not answering, but I did give her a warning, so that's probably why.
Oh.
Oh my God.
Okay. I'm not dying, which is
You
good.
FaceTime me for like 10 seconds so you can say hi to Eric.
Oh my God.
She's gonna be like, "Who's Eric?"
Your name is Eric, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big Survivor fan, part of the panel I'm doing the podcast with, and I'm just full of surprises today.
This podcast is
She's
arguably
walking
our
her dog,
wildest
but she said give
podcast.
her a second. She said give her a second, but she's walking her dog.
Look at Dove.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Oh, my baby girl. My dog is really sick right now.
Oh.
Aw. Poor,
That's
poor
how she
dog.
doing.
Oh.
Oh, look at Dublin.
He's in rough shape. I don't know what's wrong. I'm gonna get all the blood work results tomorrow. Your brain goes to crazy places.
Mhm.
But, I definitely picked some ticks off of her at her first beach experience a couple months ago.
Oh no.
And she also had an encounter with a rat in New York for the first time 3 weeks ago. So like my brain is like all the things, you know,
Yeah.
Lyme's and like rat disease, whatever that is. But
Oh my God.
I know, sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but this is my day.
No, it's okay. So
Sick dogs and Wi-Fi drama.
yeah, there you go. So we go into the challenge, unless you guys have anything I missed from the pre-challenge.
We have the Derek and Theo alliance form, the Arrow 1, Arrow 4 alliance.
That ended up not mattering because
Well,
that challenge was designed for Arrow 1 to fail from the start.
well, yeah. I mean, yes, they were meant to fail, but it does sort of matter because it did. Because then during the challenge, Cord tried to make an alliance with Theo, and because he already had a deal with Derek, and nullify. He's like, nah, I'm not gonna give my word to two different eras or two different people. So it matters a little. It's part of the storyline.
We'll give Theo some credit there then.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
So we go into the challenge, and it's based off of some movie again that I'd never even heard of until he mentioned it, let alone knew that there was a sequel. Some Gladiator. And you guys mentioned this last time, but this is obviously a challenge that they've done before.
Mm-hmm.
I was so excited for this one.
Oh, they did do this before?
Yeah, they did the shield thing.
Oh, I've
It
never.
was in,
No.
It was
Yeah.
in Cutthroat.
Yeah, it was like
Oh,
towards the end, I think. Yeah, right.
I didn't watch any seasons I wasn't on, not to be like so self-involved, but I had no interest of watching it anymore once I was on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was called Riot Act, and
Yeah.
that's really all I know about it. I mean, so what I was used to, or from what I saw on Cutthroat, I was excited to see this challenge again because that one was pretty badass. Um, but this one it didn't seem to like live up to the hype in my head, I guess.
Us dudes really went for it. We really fucking went for it. I mean, like two people got stitches. It was like the most physical daily I've ever been a part of, and it lasted a really long time because that platform was a lot wider than it should have been. If they wanted people flying off into the water, they
Hmm.
should have made the land mass smaller because you could find a corner to catch your breath and like regroup. And the girls were way too polite. It was like watching paint dry, to be honest. And they even said that after. They're like, dude, I know we suck. The boys' heat was, but they also watched us getting hurt and getting like
Hmm.
thrown around and shit. And also, fuck you, bananas. You were fucking thrown off first, and you're gonna talk about my method of staying on the fucking platform.
Yeah.
I fucking held on to make sure that we were not the first era knocked into the water. As soon as Derek Kaczynski got knocked into the water, I was like, all right, they're going in because they were the first
Yeah.
knocked off. And I held out longer than him and Chavez. And I'm the only one that almost got Theo off. I rammed that motherfucker like 6 times and to the point where he yelled, Kylan, Brian, get Ryan off me. So fuck it, bananas.
We love to hear it.
We
Yeah.
definitely love to hear it.
I'm sorry about the cursing. Do you want me to
Oh.
be like
Oh,
PG-13?
no, go for it.
You're fine.
Go for it. I mean, I've said shut the F up to people before, like on this podcast.
Yeah.
It's mostly bananas who gets them, but
Yeah. Yeah.
because at no point. But yeah, Era 1 really was screwed from the start because all they had to do was get one of them off and it was over for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they were going to elimination right from the start,
Yeah.
which I
I
meant
think that they were hoping that a challenge that benefited you from having less people would be the next one. And we all
Mhm.
thought we're like, it's going to be something where you have to get your team to finish something, and whichever team finishes it, they'll quite get. And it just
Yeah.
didn't come. And I was like, really? You're going to make Derek stand here alone with a broken leg?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think from my perspective at least, I was thinking production had set this challenge up to where they thought it was going to be more cutthroat. So, like, I was expecting to see people nonstop going at it with each other and literally only leaving like one era left or something. That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking was going to happen. So I think maybe that's, I don't know, Ryan, you correct me if I'm wrong, maybe. Maybe that's what production was thinking too, and like thinking this is how we're going to, I guess, grade how we're going to determine the winner.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I will honestly attest for all the dudes watching it back, I see that like not every guy was going as hard as like the ones that I noticed were, but it was brutal. I mean, there was one point I
Mhm.
got knocked down and I don't know if it was Josh or Jordan fell on top of me and my shield was under me and all of a sudden I just see blood like pouring onto my shield from behind me. I didn't know which cast member it was, and I honestly didn't even know if it was my blood initially, and I was like, "Oh, it's not me." And then I hear like Josh like, "I can't fucking see. I have blood in my eyes." So I got some Josh Martinez blood on my shield and the back of my head. So it was like
Oh God.
it was pretty intense.
Yeah. I feel like this challenge should have been closer to the beginning of the season when the teams were a little more even. I think that would have
Yeah.
been a much better. I mean, I think, yeah, because by this time, I mean, everyone's decimated and only Derek is there. I mean, yeah, it was, I think they put this in the wrong timing. Should have been like episode 3 or 4 or something like that. At least the
I
teams would have been a
also
little more
had
even.
no idea that like there were eras, like there was no discussion that I was part of before, like, oh, era 3 and 2 should work together. It wasn't until right before he blew the horn that I see Jordan out of the corner of my eye wink at me. which could be him just being silly and like flirting with me because he loves the attention of the gays. But I think that was a sign like 2 and 3, let's do this. And so it wasn't until a second before, because in my head, I wanted to protect Derek, even though like his alliance and number was going to do nothing for my game, but like he's my friend. So there was a certain point in time where Derek took a shot at me when I wasn't looking, Derek Kaczynski, and I got on the ground, jumped back up, and I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, okay, got it." Like the friendship's out the window. I didn't know that Era 4 approached him and was like, "We need to work together." Um, but yeah, after that, I was like, as soon as Kaczynski goes in the water, then I'm gonna allow myself to get pushed in.
There you go. And then we get to see Jordan getting hit and having the birds go around his head.
Yeah.
In the
Who
editing.
was that by again? Do we remember?
Who hit him?
I feel like it might have been Josh, maybe.
I don't know. It was definitely Jordan that knocked Derek Kaczynski into the water. And I think Jordan got knocked into the water with the momentum of him pushing Derek off. I think it became like someone sideswiped Jordan after he got Derek in. But I must have been, it's either Josh or Corey. No, not Corey. Corey's on his team. Josh, who else? Oh, Kyland.
It could have been Kylie. Yeah.
Josh or Kylan did that. Yeah. It wasn't Theo, because Theo is not for as giant as he is and as like muscly as he is, he was like having a hard time. I think he was hitting the vape too hard in the house because he was pretty gassed out. As I vape, sorry. It's my only vice left.
Yeah. No, fair. No, go for it. And then I got here to all go Derek, because after all that, Derek and Corey go at it, and then Derek throws his vest at Corey, which is the catalyst for their huge fight later. But initially, they're just like they're fighting for some. I don't even know why they were fighting, honestly.
Testosterone, honestly, things just got so heated, and when you're constantly shoving, pushing, hitting, getting hit, sweating in the Vietnamese heat with like zero shade in the time that you're not competing, everyone was just fucking amped up, and all the testosterone was pumping in everyone, and the tension was just really high, you know? And I think Derek was so pissed that he was so injured because he couldn't really compete at his max. We know what Derek's capable of when he is 100%. And so I'm sure he was just kind of pissed at the universe, and Corey just happened to be in his line of aggression. But I got to give it to Corey. He walked away. If I got hit in the back with a fucking life jacket, that like the old Corey would have normally like turned around and be like, "What are you doing, bitch? Like you're throwing shit now." And he walked
Would have
away.
dropped him. Would have dropped him like he dropped Tony.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Is like we're talking like Corey's the guy who threw Tony to the ground over pasta. Like, what are we? Which is, by the way, that's one of like the first seasons I watched. Was Final Reckoning. That was like one of the earliest seasons of the challenge I watched.
See that kind of punk attitude with Corey on this season. I truly, I don't know what he was like before, and I've never seen him on another season, but I think having 3 daughters and like just being surrounded by girls in his life, like I don't know, he seemed very respectful and like the bigger person. Anytime there was any drama, he just kind of like, he didn't get aggressive with anyone. And I didn't even see that fight with him and Josh until I was watching the episode. Like I heard it in the other wing, but anything that happened with 3 and 4, the house was literally so divided. Era 1 and 2 slept on this side, Era 3 and 4. So we heard the fights, but Era 1 and 2 rarely went into Era 3 and 4's wing and vice versa. Yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know if that was like divisive on the production side, but that's just what wound up happening. It's like if Era 2 is in that wing, there's something shady going on. Like, what deal are you cutting?
Hmm.
So you had to get really creative if you wanted to have a secret conversation.
I was gonna say it had to be like a family thing because for going from Final Reckoning up to this season, I feel like there has been much growth with Corey. So I feel like it's the what Ryan said, the daughter slash family thing.
Yeah.
Wait, Corey has kids? That's the
He has-
first I'm hearing of this.
Got 3 daughters.
That's a yeah, I know that's the joke.
Oh, because
So,
it's all he talks about is being a dad.
Yeah.
So we have this thing going on. Not Ryan. Eric, he does his shut up count of the season. Like I'm sure you noticed, he's been saying shut up to so and so. This is a continuous every season type of thing, where by the end of the season he counts up how many shuts up or shut ups or whatever he gives to one person, and we have to guess who has the most shut ups of the season. And then before the season started, me and Diego, I guess we're supposed to count how many times Corey is competing for his family. So he's only mentioned like briefly of it once, and we didn't even count it.
Yeah.
God. Well, you should definitely do a counting game with how many times they mention my sobriety. I'm like
Oh.
so sick of being sober. It's like so boring. Like I need a new shtick, you know? I used to be a whore and now I'm sober. It's like I need something new. So start counting that, Eric.
Okay.
There we
I
go.
mean, I gotta focus on the shut up count. Just count. These boys can count it because
we got you, Ryan.
Okay.
we gotta. And so yeah, then the girls go up, and Tori's the last one from Era 3, and then like Cara Maria kind of like eyes her, and then Laurel goes in to help her and says like she'll have Kara's back in this, and like I hear Laurel's weird.
Wait.
She was doing just enough so that in the edit and on the outside it looked like she was having Kara's back. And she has been given so many fucking, like, I know she's not coming off great this season in general, but like they are giving her so much more grace. They could have really shown what exactly happened at all times, and they are just giving you the PG-13 version to like give her like a little bit of credibility, but she was not protecting Kara. Like, yeah, she walked over and stood there, but she wasn't like shoving bitches like at all, you know? Like no one was gonna get Laurel off that, you know, piece of
Mhm.
land, that's for sure. And she definitely like stood her ground, but like the beast did not come out at all. And I think she did that for like the cameras, you know, just looking like she was helping. All of a sudden, she's like, I gotta help my sister. It's like, fuck off. You're so full of shit. You want to wear her skin. Let's be real. You're obsessed with her and you don't know how you feel about her.
Oh God. How?
So ultimately, Era 4 ends up winning this challenge. Era 1 loses this challenge. So it's between Era 2 and Era 3 as to who's going in. And then we get to see we get to see some of the inner workings as Derek is like wondering how he should handle it because he doesn't know if he should like throw himself in there to protect Avery, but then Cara Maria goes in and it's like, so it was just Derek was just, I got you, Derek. You don't go in, shouldn't go in for Avery under no circumstances. Go in.
It just wouldn't make sense. And Kara, it's Kara's game too. And Kara
Yeah.
was definitely not going to be aligned with that decision. It would have been different if our era won and could control the narrative of who was going in. That would be a way for him to like, have your back. Yeah. But I get also Avery's frustration as well. I do. I do. I'm friends with both of them. And by the way, they're both fine, but uh I think a lot of people in the house were whispering about like, wow, Derek had an opportunity to repay that favor. And I'm like, well, not really. Because Kara was not going to willingly be like, yeah, I'll go into elimination again. Like, no, it's like,
Yeah. Against
yeah,
Rachel in a boxing match.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We're not throwing
I think
axes this time.
Yep.
I think I pointed it out like while watching it again. I was like, that would have been iconic, kind of to see Rachel and Cara Maria part two, but this time physical, like how it was supposed to be an All Stars 4.
Yeah.
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 No,
I
I
think
think
that
it
axe
was
drug was pretty
really
physical.
sexy. I wouldn't mind seeing Kara and Rachel box a little. That's kind of a sexy vision right there.
Yeah.
There you go. And then we go into the deliberation and we get um Corey saying it was, or Derek, or somebody said it was, Corey said it was a personal attack against him that Derek threw the vest at him. And I'm like, personal attack? Really?
I just think Derek had good aim. I mean, no.
I don't think that
Um,
Derek intended on hitting him in the back. He was throwing it in the direction. Uh, I really don't. I really don't think that. Derek wasn't trying to like physically hurt him, but it got heated really quick. I mean, we were all kind of like, "Ooh, Derek!" Like Derek's normally like, especially dad Derek, like 40-year-old Derek, like doesn't really subscribe to the drama or get like aggro in the ways that he was like back in the day. So I kind of thought it was awesome that he was getting aggro. I was like, there he is, that little fucking bulldog. Go get him. You show him, you tell him.
Yeah,
But also, if Corey did turn around, like, was he gonna fight with some like a guy that's limping and literally on his lap? Like, that
Yeah.
wasn't gonna happen.
no. He would fight him later, but that'd be
Well.
in a controlled environment.
Yes.
But then Derek utters one of the best lines. He's like, "You ever heard of a scare game? Well, this is a don't give a fuck game."
Yeah.
He calls him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the chamber when he calls him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good
Which-
chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought was hilarious. And Rachel made a good point too. Like, Derek is the GOAT of the challenge.
Yeah.
Like,
He is. Like, he is my GOAT. Like, I voted that.
I mean, he shows up every 10 seasons, like, but he's still
Well,
pretty badass.
But
like
that's
Ryan was
not,
mentioning
you know,
earlier
that's
was
not his controlling. He would have done every season the entire way. He lives for this shit. But we're never in control over the casting narrative, you know?
hmm
Boo.
yeah. Ryan on every season.
Yes, we need more Ryan on. We need more Ryan on every season.
Okay, guys, fine. Make me do it. Well, next episode, and this is not spoiling anything. I'm going in the chamber no matter what. So it'll be my first chamber.
Yes, and
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
that'll be fun.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and then they go back from deliberation. They talk about how they think that Josh might be able to change the minds of Theo and Jenny.
I don't think he even tried.
No.
Yeah, not the way that, yeah, it didn't seem like he did.
No.
Because Era 4 had their like little meeting or whatever.
Yes,
you know,
which
Theo
by the
and
way,
Jenny.
everyone saw through.
The only
Yeah.
two people that opposed were Michelle and Kyland.
Mhm.
And it was 2 against 5, right? Is
Yeah,
that right?
5 and yeah.
Yes.
Josh and Casey were like, "Oh, it's up to you. It's your vote." So they didn't
Yeah.
even go to bat for Corey, who apparently is friends with him. Probably not so much anymore. I don't know.
I mean, why would he be at this point? Like they
Yeah.
threw him in twice now.
hmm
Right.
Like, and we also hear about Devin's Monopoly thing, where he plays Monopoly with his family, and gets competitive. Spoiler alert, I suck at Monopoly.
I was gonna say, I think I heard a podcast from like a year or two ago or something. I don't exactly remember, but he was telling whoever was interviewing him that he played this specific board game. I can't remember what it was called, but it
Risk? Was it Risk? Like
maybe.
the war game? That it's a very
Mhm.
East Coast family game that lasts forever. I would think it would be Risk.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
couldn't tell you if that was correct or not, but I mean, it sounds like the what it could have been, but either way, I just know that I was the same way. I grew up playing board games all the time, card games. This is my forte.
Yeah, same. My sister and her current husband, when they were fiancés, had to sign a written contract to never play Risk, this game, because they got in a fight that they almost broke up over it.
Wow.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, my family is ruthlessly competitive. So like I know that I'm not like the one to like be careful like on this challenge, but like the competitiveness in my soul and the desire to win is real. Oh, Michelle.
Uh, uh,
Hi.
Hi, honey.
Say hi to
I'm
the
dying.
boys.
Hi, Eric.
Eric, this is all you.
Eric is a huge Survivor fan and a huge You fan, and we're just, four dudes shooting the shit on a Tuesday night. My Wi-Fi is working, my dog is alive-ish, and he wanted to say hi, but I said I would surprise him.
What podcast is this?
uh,
I think he got
You
him
are they're like
dumbfounded.
they didn't know I was going to be on, so this,
Yeah, that's another surprise right here.
yeah.
we are called the King Frick Fresh Entertainment Group.
I love it.
Um,
Well, it sounds fantastic. I'm so jealous that you get to spend an evening with Brian. He's the love of my life. So treat him nicely, or else.
oh, we love him.
Well, this is going to turn into more content for OnlyFans after we get off the phone with you. It's going to be a big circle jerk. Yes. Michelle loves the circle jerk.
I really big CJ guy.
Miss you. Am I gonna see you Friday?
I would love to. My appointment is like
Sorry.
sort of near you. Hold on, Devin's
On
calling.
the app. Do you want to answer it?
No, it's not I'm not all the way up north, but I'm like east side, so easy for you to get to. But I'll send you the deeds.
Okay, send me the deets.
I would love to see you.
I know. Let's see each other before we leave and have to go.
Your flight, will ya?
I'm going to. I'm gonna talk to Laura tomorrow and see what.
Okay.
Yeah, what's what.
I'm glad the baby's okay.
Yeah, she's really tired and she's not herself, but I'll see what the blood work is tomorrow. I'm not gonna like lose sleep over it. It's been a day.
It's been a day and that shit's expensive.
Yeah, no shit. I'm like $500 to not like you really didn't tell me anything and you don't know what's wrong with her. New York City.
New York City, baby.
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Okay.
I love
Bye.
you too.
Bye, Michelle. Tell Devin we said hi.
Yeah, tell them and said hi.
We have a crossword date lined up for now, so
They play crosswords. They're a bunch of lesbians.
Crosswords are awesome. Love crosswords.
We're here
Okay,
for it.
I'll call you after. Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm dying. I am dead. And by the way, I don't edit these podcasts ever. So
So
this is gonna be one wild one.
Yeah, well, I'm on. There's gonna be circle jerk mentions if I'm on, like, I am my mother's daughter.
Oh jeez.
Having a pee, but TBD.
Okay.
we were at the Josh Corey fight.
Pull
before-
yourself together, Eric. No.
We're good. good. Yeah, so we were at the Josh Corey fight, and then because I guess Josh came in and said, like, "Are you okay?" And then he's like, "Enough with that fake shit." And then Corey just blew up on Josh. Josh blew up on Corey, and then I'm like, "Just walk away, Josh. Like, this is not going to go the way you think it's going to go."
Yeah. Yeah, that was I mean, I understand why Corey's mad. I completely understand.
Yeah.
And Josh should have at least tried to sway Theo's vote. At least he could say, well, you know what? I tried and they still didn't, you know, go with what we wanted. At the very least. I mean, with Theo, when they call that meeting, Jenny and Theo to, with the Arrow 4, it's like, oh, it came to a vote, whatever, blah, blah, was to basically take heat off of them two. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Josh got the brunt of Corey's anger, not Theo or Jenny.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
Corey got, like, Josh got all the heat for that, and it's like, but why? Why is he taking all this heat? And, like, too, I got your two facts, Kylan, because Kylan was right. Like, they could have done something to change his mind. Like,
Or at least
obviously there
attempted
was
to.
no changing. There was no changing their mind. Like, let's be real. Theo and Jenny were always going to throw in Corey and Avery.
Oh yeah, they had their mind made up after the chamber.
I was gonna say, didn't Theo specifically say in a confessional saying he is planning this to put two heirs against each other, essentially? Did I miss
Yes,
that?
he did mention, or he mentioned in his confessional that it was like that this was all fake. Like the voting thing was all fake, and we didn't need that confessional. Like we all knew that was fake.
Right.
But so yeah, and then Tori was talking like, I gotta hear, yeah, no shit, Tori, because Tori says like, oh, there's no way, like I clearly can't rely on Josh. It's like, yeah, you're just figuring that out now. Like, I could have told you that in like 3 seasons ago.
Yeah.
Josh kind of plays like I played on Fresh Meat too. Like just yes to the person that I'm talking to, but then doing the same thing with the other person. So I get that strategy, but
was it you and Jen? Sorry, was it you and Jen that was like kind of playing the fence on Fresh Meat too? Like
we're playing both sides full on.
Yeah, there we go.
But I mean, up until that point, I was playing Mr. Nice Guy, loyal guy, and it didn't really get me anywhere. So yeah, I was kind of a double agent, but I it was no bad blood. Wes, it was like, well played, my friend, once he saw what was really happening. But people on the show do that regularly. So it's like I had to finally just overcome my fear of like being a dick and be like, you know what? This is season number 5. You need to be a dick if you want to like get ahead in this fucking game. Yeah. And I didn't really like do anything malicious. Kenny thought I was team Kenny and Wes thought I was team Wes. And in the end, I was more team Kenny. So
yeah,
I don't regret it.
But yeah, that side of the alliance definitely worked out better.
Every season, Josh does this every season, so it's kind of like, why would anyone be surprised?
Yeah,
for him to be like, I don't understand, guys. Like this thing.
That was a good Josh impression.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
I seriously no, like I love her. You're my friend. You're my friend. I love you. No, like I don't want to
get another
decision.
Guys, for the listeners that are listening in on this, we just got our third surprise of the night.
Yeah.
Josh made an appearance.
Thank you so much for having me here. Like I don't know what this podcast is, but like Ryan said it was a good podcast, and yeah.
Oh, so many probably
I
just for the
really
night.
love Josh in real life. There's no one I really dislike in real life. I'm just saying, but I do talk shit because it's funny. And I'm also seeing how people's confessionals are. All I knew about anyone that I was just meeting for the first time on 40 was what I saw in person. So seeing people's confessionals are interesting because now I'm getting the full package of like, are you a confessional warrior? You talk all your shit in confessionals, but like smile to your face. It's
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who do that.
Yeah.
Bananas. Sorry, my throat guys.
Bananas
Throat
was
cut.
my best friend the day after he like went in on me. And then he's still talking shit in his interviews about me not performing well. Really annoying.
So then we go into the elimination, and it's a boxing match, gladiator style, and Theo and Jenny send in Corey and Avery,
Avery.
and then Corey casually is like this man disrespected me earlier, so now it's personal, and I'm gonna take it personal. I got Corey, shut up.
You are not a Corey fan. You just
Not
do
this
not.
episode, no.
This was
Not
kind of a
this
bad look for
season.
Corey. Yeah, this was not a very good. My wife is a Corey fan. She's, ever since, real world throughout the challenge, but she also loves Derek, by the way. She's like, this is not good for Corey. I don't like him right now.
Oh,
Yeah, he was a little aggro in this episode, and I kind of get it. He's not in the best position in the game right now. He doesn't have any
no.
real allies. The only person that would have played nice with him was um, Amanda, and he voted her in, got her out. So he kind of shot himself in the foot there.
They haven't spoken since.
Yeah. So
They haven't
he put himself in a bad
LOL.
position, and now he
Nope.
doesn't know why.
You know Amanda, she's like if you're on her side,
Mhm.
she is like a solid friend and person, but like if you do her dirty, she's like, nope,
Mhm.
next, done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
So
possible that like in the past month since I last communicated with her that they've talked, but I don't think so.
no,
I was gonna say she made amends with Kara, but that took years. And I think it doesn't like Paulie. He uses himself as like an olive branch to her enemies, kind of.
I'm not gonna comment on him.
Okay. Fair.
I love Kara. She's a really, really dear friend, but I'm not gonna comment.
Totally fair.
Okay.
And then we have my shut up Jordan butt out because Jordan decides to throw in his 2 cents
Yeah.
during all this. Like, do it to his face. Like, come on, do it to her face. It's like this isn't about you, Jordan.
Yeah. Jordan had no stake in this at all.
Also,
I
what
don't know
was
what
It's
he even.
always
what was
about
going on with
Jordan,
his
though.
face?
It's always about Jordan.
But what was going on with his face? Because he had like some weird like face
Probably a
mask
Band-Aid or
on.
something. Yeah.
No,
Probably
That's where the stitches came in.
He got
Stitches.
stitches here and he got stitches here in the Gladiator challenge.
Oh,
He had about 4 under here and like 6 on his head.
yeesh.
Yeah. There was blood everywhere on everyone. It was like it was bloody. Very 300 of us.
Yeah.
All we were missing was the kick.
Yeah.
I wrote here too. This elimination looks fun. Like I wanted to do this. Like this looks fun.
Depends on
Like
who
a
gets
blindfold
too.
boxing match.
No. Avery, I
Love
don't
to do
seem to
it
like
with
it very much.
friends. Yeah, I think it would be a lot of fun. I was really hoping that Avery would like, I don't know, pull out some Avery versus Naya real world skills
Oh,
because
right.
we know that she can fight and she can swing. We've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, poor Avery. I love her.
Yeah.
So
Love you, Avery. But man, she got her ass kicked. It was brutal.
yeah, I feel like I heard somewhere that the person who was wearing the things that were busting, I guess, um, they weren't allowed to fight back. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think I saw an interview with
Literally,
Avery.
they
He says that
wanted you
like
to stand with your arms open,
mhm,
like you weren't even allowed to put your fists up. So that was rough.
Mm.
yeah,
And I was like kind of hoping that Rachel, like once she started getting those targets, I was like, all right, like take it easy. She did not let up. She was
yeah,
like punching as if Avery was like equal to her ability. And I was
Mhm.
like, man, you're not even like being like a little kind.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I even got here too. Like Rachel is beating up on Avery because she was just beating up on her. Like she really had no shot, honestly.
yeah. Poor Avery was
No.
taking some crazy shots in there.
Rachel's also like a black belt. Like
Hmm.
she's fighting skills. You know, she's
Yeah,
Mhm.
been like in shit like that since she was a child. So yeah, I think she could have taken any single female, including Jenny, in an elimination like that.
yeah,
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, and Rachel was when they switched roles, Rachel was moving around a lot more than Avery was,
yeah. That
it
was probably
seems.
one of
But
Avery's mistakes was that she could have ran around and at least tried it a little harder, but she kind of just stood there and took it a little bit.
yeah.
But she's beautiful and we love her.
Oh, we love
And
Avery on this podcast.
yeah, I love
Yes.
her so much. My God, she's great. I'm so glad that they brought her back for 40. I know that there was like opinions. The fucking fans are so ruthless. It's like
Yeah,
waste of a cast member. It's like
Yeah.
I
I've
think
always
that her
said,
trajectory on All Stars 4 was amazing, and I think she was a star holder for most of that season. She was never in the bottom to even go into elimination because she was either in the middle or the top. Avery's a very good competitor. She just has no business boxing anyone.
yeah,
No.
I've always said that the downfall of the challenge will be the fan base because they're so criticizing
Yeah,
and hateful. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we
yeah,
try
they're
not to be
pretty
hateful here.
brutal.
Yeah.
Like I normally just like delete the bad comments, but who's calling? Oh, Olivia.
Come on.
Oh
What
my
is
God.
happening here on this podcast?
Olivia. Oh my God, we love you. Oh my God.
We're
It's like
dying.
surprise after surprise. So I finally got my Wi-Fi working, and yeah, I committed to 2 podcasts today. I didn't know if I was going to have it in me because of this puppy, but I just surprised them. I had Michelle call me while I told them that it was going to happen because he's a big Michelle fan. Eric, the second one down. Yes, we are too. You look beautiful. I mean, not like in a surprising way. You're always hot, but like you look like you're going places. Oh, she just looked good. Yes, look at those skinny arms. Oh my God, I'm excited. I'll call you right after. Oh,
Can we ask a question real quick?
oh, Laurel, is it a picture?
The episode now.
Oh no, do they? Ew, she's lurking big time. Oh, say hi to Theo.
Hi, Theo.
Hi, Theo.
What is happening?
I'm doing a podcast in this moment.
Olivia, we have a question.
No, you're not. You're not interrupting. They're good people.
No, you're not never interrupting.
Yeah. So Laurel is lurking in this episode.
Did he freeze?
I think he froze.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Uh, do we continue?
I
We got to ask her about the graveyard, right?
Oh
my God, yes. Yes, we do. Well, that was gonna be your question?
I don't know where you're going with the question.
Oh,
Oh no.
You got disconnected.
you got disconnected. Let's. This is a wild podcast.
That's been a crazy podcast.
This is gonna be one of our wildest like podcasts.
Yes. Got cameos and
Oh
all
my
kinds of
God.
stuff.
Like Michelle, Theo, Olivia, like
This is wild. Um I feel
Well-
like we should not have dead air. Do we
Yeah.
continue on?
So we
I think
gotta
should continue.
we gotta move on. Yeah, let's. And now for the main event, we get Derek versus Corey in the elimination. And I gotta hear yes, Derek, because Derek says like when he's in elimination, like that's when the animal comes out. Like
Mhm.
the sorry, I just that was just crazy. But yeah, so like Derek,
Mine's coming back.
like I gotta hear like yes, he's
Oh
back.
man.
I've been here the whole time. I've seen myself, and then one by one you started freezing. So I don't know what happened.
Oh no.
That's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so real quick, because we didn't get any context out of the one season that we saw out of it or whatever. Do you have any background as to her graveyard date?
Olivia's graveyard. Olivia.
Olivia mentioned she had a date took her to a graveyard.
I believe it was on
Oh.
Ride or Die, or was it Ride or
No, it was
Battle for a New Champion.
It was 39.
Oh, I believe it. Olivia is she is a female version of me. So like I've probably had sex in a graveyard and she's probably been on a date in a graveyard. So there's that.
Oh my God.
They know how to cast them.
Oh my
I
god.
believe it. I'll ask her the story when I call her back.
Please, we have to know.
Please.
We've been dying to
Yes.
know ever since it was brought up on the show.
Oh no, it froze again.
Uh-oh.
He froze again.
Oh boy.
Oh boy. Okay. But yeah, so Derek is a beast because he's just like this whole challenge like gave me like a newfound respect for Derek because he's just he's holding his own with Corey.
Mm-hmm.
which
This isn't
was-
surprising. I mean, the fact that he's doing the normal leg is also surprising, but he is always, I mean, he's been in two crazy pole wrestles. The first one with the West, which is one of the first times that pole wrestle was done, and then the one with Joss where he was a mercenary. And
Yeah.
Joss is like at least probably three times the size as Derek. And I mean, in the end, well, no shock here, but he and Derek ended up winning that one. Mind you, he was completely destroyed in that pole wrestle. I mean, there's a reason why Derek is considered one of the best to play, especially for a guy his size. I mean, he's a little
Yeah.
guy compared to a lot of the other players.
Yeah, he's
So-
definitely he held his own for sure. And then like you said, like this was like a whole thing and like the ending literally kind of made me cry a little. Like when like the ending like after their like after the thing like that Derek and Corey like hugged and like
Mhm.
were like you're a good dude, like you're a class act, man, like good on you. Like they were being like they were so classy about it. It was amazing to see, honestly.
I think it has a lot to do with like, once you get like all that aggression out, especially with the person you're not really fond of at that moment,
Yeah.
I think you kind of let that go a little bit, like whatever animosity you're holding, I think you kind of let it go a little bit. So I think that's what we saw right then at that moment was just them kind of like, all right, we got
Letting go.
this out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We got to
They-
punch each other for a little while. So I think we're okay now.
Yeah. And then so they go into the results. And did you guys find TJ's wording of this weird? Like when he announced who won for the girls and the guys? Like the wording of
I don't remember how he worded it.
he
Yeah.
was like Rachel or Avery got all but one or all but six, and Rachel, you got all but all of them.
Is that what he said? I don't
Yeah.
remember. I mean, if he did say that, it is a little weird way to say that.
That was a very weird way of saying it.
Yeah.
I think I noticed him saying something weird or off-putting to me, but I didn't really point it out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was. I don't know. I found that to be like a weird
Yeah.
thing that he says, and then like the way he weirded it, way he worded it was just weird.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got here, Derek almost got the upset.
Yeah.
Because they both all knocked. I guess both of them knocked all of the things, but Corey did it faster, probably because Derek was on one leg.
Yeah.
And was probably needing to get eliminated anyways because his leg was just not there.
Yeah, he like I said earlier, like his knee kept on slipping out of its socket.
Yeah.
And it happened multiple times between the previous day through this daily and all that. And he was like, yeah, it was probably about 10 times that it slipped out of its socket in those 2 days, or whatever time frame it was, like between the previous daily and this one. So he was like, yeah, I was probably gonna have to go home no matter what, even if I'd won that.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was gonna have to go in regardless, and that sucks. But I mean, what are you gonna do, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, and then I got here only every 10 years, right, Derek? Because Derek says to Cam, like, I'll see you guys again. I'm like, yeah, we'll see you for 50, Derek.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, definitely. He just had surgery in July, I believe, and it's about a year's long recovery. So he won't be eligible to do anything like this for like another like 8 months.
Yeah. So we probably won't see him till maybe All-Star 6.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, so you're the odds of seeing him. So what you're saying is we won't see him on 41.
Yeah, definitely not 41.
I mean, were we ever gonna see him on 41?
Or even All Stars 5 for that matter. I mean,
yeah.
It was gonna be a mercenary.
And I thought they were. So after they revealed the results, I thought they were gonna change. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Yellow. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much for this. And I will I'll text you later and everything. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, we love you, Ryan. Thank you.
All right, sounds good. All right, have a good night. Bye-bye.
Oh, that's
so that
internet went out.
Yeah, so he said his internet is down again. It says he was on Wi-Fi, but it's just a constant dial. He apologizes, but I mean, I going into this, we kind of, well, I knew it was,
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be like an issue type of thing, but
Hey,
I mean,
we
good.
We got a huge amount of cameos out of them, so I mean,
Yeah. That was insane.
We got our money's worth with him.
We love you, Ryan.
Yeah, we love you, Ryan. Thank you for doing this. We appreciate it, buddy. That was a very pleasant surprise. And I thought they were gonna like do like a change up, like some sort of mix up, some sort of thing, but nope. He's like, pick your targets.
Yeah. Well, even Rachel was like standing there next to Corey and is like, he's like, I thought they were gonna be changing something up. And she's like, I don't want to be the fucking target anymore.
Yeah, really. Because Rachel's got to be the target now, but there's no guy target, so that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
How they handle that.
So, do we want to get into? Are we done with the elimination?
Yeah, we're done with the elimination.
Okay, so let me know when we're ready to jump into the previews for next week.
Okay. we only got two more notes because I thought there was gonna be change, but then they picked the targets and Ryan volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish he was here for this so you could ask him why the heck he volunteered. Like when we knew Rachel was probably gonna pick bananas.
Yeah, well, yeah. Who else did she have to choose from? It was Derek,
Nehemiah.
Nehemiah, Bananas, and
Nehemiah
Ryan.
or bananas.
Mhm.
Nehemiah,
Huh.
Ryan, or bananas.
Okay. Dang it, Ryan. dang that Wi-Fi.
Yeah, dang Wi-Fi. But yeah, so Ryan volunteers, and then I hear you can do it, Rachel, because Rachel's like, I'm now the last person on my team, but I'm gonna give my all. Honestly, and I'm being straight up, if anyone could be a solo team and hold their own and possibly like make a huge comeback, it's Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Like who are we kidding here?
Yeah, if Derek didn't have an injured leg, I mean, they could have done pretty well. Even the daily, probably not win that one, but maybe get at least one other era out first, like between Derek and era 4, they could have got maybe era 3 out or era 2 out. That would at least and have era 4 win again. That would have been the only way for era 1 to be safe because they wouldn't have voted him in.
Yeah.
But Derek Derek with one leg. I mean, it's tough.
It was tough, but ultimately, yeah. So Rachel is like, and I'm loving this underdog edit for or underdog storyline now with that Rachel's getting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she really now is the underdog.
Mhm.
And honestly, if I had to pick someone I want to see win this season, I kind of want to see Rachel win it.
Exactly. She, especially with, okay, so her track record, her resume, how she exited on All Stars 4 was not deserving. So seeing her take this all the way would be like I want to say the true underdog story, but she's not an underdog.
Yeah,
No.
she's one of the best to play the game.
I guess if you're taking this season into consideration, she is the underdog this season now that she's the only one from Era 1 left.
Mhm.
So, yeah, if there's anything that we want to see is it's Rachel winning.
And yeah, and then we get the next time on, and I wasn't really paying that much attention to it. So Tommy,
So
tell us what happened.
We got hold on.
Oh,
we got Devin coming. Devin is coming after Bananas. Josh
which we
has
knew.
to choose. Josh has to choose a side, and
Doesn't want to.
We see the girls hanging in a what do they call it? A train car?
like a shipping container.
Yeah, shipping container.
Yes, yeah, they're like hanging on like I want to say it's kind of like rock climbing, but
Yeah,
it's not
yeah,
really.
the rock climbing grips or whatever, like when you go
Yeah,
do it at the mall or whatever. Yeah.
yeah. So, but before I took the notes on this, I saw another preview before taking notes and like noticing this. So I noticed in the trailer at the end of the episode, it shows them in all of their. Are we ready for spoilers or anything? Or because I might be dropping a bomb.
I'll give a spoiler warning to my people. If you don't want to be spoiled, get out now. And then come back in like 2 minutes when we talk about what's coming up down the pike. But anyways, this has been your official spoiler warning. So Tommy, spoil away.
So after watching the initial episode, I noticed that everyone was still wearing their team colors and everything for their eras. And especially for the challenge too. Like I think I saw people in like pink and blue shirts yelling out for them, like, you gotta hang on or whatever, blah blah blah. It's cliche shit. And then but I saw a commercial that was a preview for the next episode, and I saw these competitors in different colored shirts. Like I think they were all wearing black. Because I'm just like, here I am at the end of this episode. I'm thinking, they got to form a twist because Rachel on a team by herself, she doesn't stand a chance. I'm
Mhm.
thinking they're gonna go individual or it's gonna change up somehow. And I'm just, like, by the end of this episode, I'm up in arms because I'm like, nothing happened. There's got to be something that's going on.
Mhm.
So then when I see this commercial for the next episode, I see everyone in different colored jerseys or black jerseys. I'm just like, I caught it. Something's twisting. Like they're gonna do something next episode.
Okay, so next episode's when the twist, and it's rightfully so. I mean, that's around like the halfway point of the season,
Yeah.
so it does make sense. Plus, I don't think they thought that this was gonna be what happened.
Yeah.
For real.
I don't think the producers thought that the one team was going to get completely wiped out, let alone Arrow 1.
Yeah,
Right.
they're
They were
one of their better eras.
Yeah.
They're about to be extinct.
So, okay, well, that was your sort of spoiler. That wasn't really spoilerly. Tommy, just
I
so you
didn't
know.
want anyone to be like, because I know some people don't watch the previews or don't watch the commercials
Mhm.
or whatever, and
Yeah,
they
fair.
don't want to be potentially spoiled as they have in the past or whatever. So
Totally fair. Okay. Do you guys have any final thoughts on the episode? Anything we missed that you might want to cover?
there were a couple Where's Waldos that we I know I
Ooh.
didn't really say much this episode, but I was letting
No.
Brian have the spotlight.
Yeah.
So it was at the beginning of the episode, or near the beginning of the episode, when Casey was talking. I noticed when she was talking to whoever she was, I noticed that she had an engagement ring on her finger. But then when it cut to the confessional, either the ring was on a different finger or the ring wasn't there.
You might took it off for the confessional.
I'm just like, Nani, you better watch your girl.
Okay.
And I guess the second one, this was during the challenge, and it could have just been my own viewpoint of this, but it looked like Theo had stood up and ran backwards, and I'm just like, did they rewind the clip? Like it looked like that's how it portrayed itself, but he was running backwards with the shield in front of him. So I'm just like, is this editing, or did he actually get up from the ground and run backwards? Like he could have gotten pushed, ran forward, and fell onto the ground. I don't know. That's just my viewpoint.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess it's editing because that sounds weird.
That
Yeah.
sounded weird. Yeah, that was these. Tommy, I'm kind of glad he didn't use these Where's Waldo's when Ryan was here, because that's not a great depiction of your Where's Waldo's.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you're reaching at this point. I feel like you're trying to match me.
No. Okay, so the ring was a good one,
I mean,
but
yeah, if you're paying
But
attention to her hand, like I'm just
I
shocked that
was.
she's talking.
Well, there's that too. But I know the Theo one is reaching, but
Yeah, the
The-
Theo
the
one,
ring one.
100% reaching. But yeah, so do you guys have any other thoughts? Anything we missed? This was a long one, guys.
yeah. I had a plethora of notes like normal, but I'm gonna
Defer to
let-
the surprise we had
there we
earlier.
go.
Yeah,
And the cameos. Jesus, the cameos are out of control.
Yeah, this
Right.
honestly was just like I said, this is arguably our wildest episode. I'm not even gonna be this isn't gonna be an audio episode. This will 100% be a video episode. Like people
Has
need
to
to
be.
see
Has to be.
this. People need to see this like in real time. Like this was unprecedented. Like this is arguably one of the best episodes we've done, and it's all
Yeah.
because of you, Tommy.
Thanks, Tommy.
So thank you,
For some more
Tommy.
magic.
Where's my raise at?
You're not getting a raise.
You know what? Even if you got a 10% a raise of whatever you're getting paid now, it's still zero.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I'll give you a 10% raise. There you go.
There we go.
But Tommy, this was a pleasant surprise.
It was.
Thank you.
I kind of figured that this was the surprise. Like I was kind of like anticipating it, but I didn't think it would actually happen because he said it might not happen.
Yeah, I don't want to promise anything at first because I'm just like, I don't know. But yeah, so here I think we were talking about him last episode or something, and I think I was texting him and I was gonna send him the link, and he said by the time he responded, we were already done, and he said he
Yeah.
would have hopped on at the end or whatever, but it's okay.
That's okay. We got him for like almost a full episode here.
Yeah.
He wants to be a regular.
Hey,
Yeah.
he's free to come on
Right.
anytime he wants. You tell him that when you text him. When you text him the link to the episode, tell him like anytime you want, buddy.
Right.
You're free to come. If
Mhm.
there's gonna be random cameo appearances, absolutely. We're here for it. Shall we talk about stuff coming down the pike?
Yes.
Do.
We have coming up on Wednesday, Tommy will be live tweeting about Challenge 40. I will be
shoot.
over on Twitch watching. I'll be over on Twitch watching Survivor season 47. So you guys over on twitch.tv/KingFresh Games, you can check us out over there. On Thursday, me and Matt are going to be doing a Fresh profiles. Now, it will be with a former Survivor player. Jenny joins us to talk about the episode. We finally rescheduled that interview, and I'm very excited for that. As well as also Thursday night, it will be the drop of my Traders solo podcast where I watch the episode and react to the episode. I don't know if either of you have been following along with that, but they've been fun. I'm hoping you guys watch them.
As a reliable co-host that gets paid 10% more now. Of course I listen to it. What do you mean?
And I'm actually literally going to be recording that right after we're done this, so be on the lookout for that. Also, the Patreon is live for people who want to become patrons. We will be doing Patreon-only videos if we get Patreon-only podcasts and Patreon-only stuff if we start to get patrons. So become a patron of the King Fresh Entertainment Group. And who knows, maybe you'll hear me and Diego talking about movies. Like, that's obviously something that we've had in the works for a while. Diego, as always,
Yes.
Thank you for joining us.
Of course. Always a good one. This was a fun one. Thanks to Tommy and the surprises.
Tomcat over here just coming away with the surprises.
There's
Tommy?
another one I have to follow up with here soon, but
Tommy, okay, but you can't surprise us again, okay? I don't need to be
Yeah.
speechless for like 5 minutes of first 5 minutes of the podcast and literally bumbled my intro because I'm so just in shock.
I think you were more in shock when Michelle was on the screen.
That is true too. That was also like just in
You were
shock.
frozen. You're
Yeah,
very.
gonna say we love her on this podcast. You guys know I'm a Michelle fan.
Yes, we
But
know.
Tommy, thank you for the surprise and thank you for being here today.
Of course. This is a pleasant surprise for us all.
This was this was our wildest episode. It has to end at some point, and it's ending when I find the stop button, which is right now.